You get a client on an intro call, it feels very friendly, you feel like it's gone well, and you tell them about your price, your qualifications, you ask them about their goal, any injuries, and at the end of it, they say, let me think about it. And all of a sudden, nothing. It goes quiet. You don't hear back from them. So a question that many personal trainers ask is, how do I get better at sales? And that is not the right question. The question should actually be, how do I run intro calls that lead to a clear decision from the client? Hello, my name is George Molyneux, and I work with personal trainers on helping them make practical business skills. So what actually breaks intro calls? It's a common issue amongst many coaches. And an intro call is universally the way that people are onboarded into a coaching system. And I see more and more coaches, or business coaches, there's a big difference there. More and more business coaches, which are basically people who are trying to make a quick dollar out of personal trainers who work very hard. Now, you see many of them try and now advocate for, you don't need to speak to your clients before. Like, they just want to do this, and they just want to do that. I'm sorry, but it's entirely the wrong attitude. Quality should precede quantity. And you cannot just, for most people, if you're looking to invest into personal training, no matter at what level, whether that's literally just buying or doing a monthly subscription, all the way through to doing in-person sessions, you can. I mean, obviously, one is more personal than the other, but either one requires to build rapport. Either one requires to build trust. Either one requires to understand each other, and you cannot do that if you skip the intro call process. And people are sick and tired of feeling like just another human. They feel like just another consumer. And so on an intro call, you have an opportunity to make them feel special. And if you can do that, then all of a sudden you are moving from stack them high, sell them cheap, I should say, through to a machine and an engineered system that enables you as a personal trainer to scale your business. Because that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. This is about you moving from where you currently are, which is maybe struggling financially, or feeling capped, or just feeling like you have a bit of a ceiling over your head, through to building a six-figure personal training business and doing it in a mature and grounded way. So, intro calls. Now, most calls fail because there's no structure. You explain instead of lead the call. You talk too much, and you also avoid asking for a decision from them. So the calls tend to feel very nice, very jolly, very jovial, but they don't actually go anywhere. And you're not there to be their friend. Building rapport does not mean that you're asking them about. You're not trying to find out what their favorite color is. It's building rapport is within the set boundaries of why you're both there, which is to help them achieve their goal. So at the moment, intro calls are probably costing you, not being too good at intro calls, are probably costing you a fair amount. So let's say you do 5 intro calls a week, and so that's 1 a day, and maybe 1 of those converts a week. That seems pretty good to me. Now, converting just 1 more would double your volume. And so let's say, for example, you do monthly subscriptions to your personal training, to your online coaching. You do $200 a month. And so with 1 extra client per week, 4 extra a month, that's an extra $800 per month just in revenue. And given it's online coaching, it's very low head. And so you end up transforming a system that was previously failing you into one which you can start to scale. Now, I have made this point in other videos, but it's worth reiterating. I see so many coaches just think that personal training is a numbers game, and it's just not a good enough argument anymore. It's not a good enough argument anymore. It really does not stand the test of time. You have to fix quality before you can fix quantity. Because what you end up doing then is, if you do it the other way around, you just end up trying to scale a business and wondering why all your hard work leads to such minimal efforts, leads to such minimal results, I should say. And if you do it the other way around, you might start off slower. You might not hit the high ceilings that you want to in the first 1 to 6 months, or 6 to 12 months, or whatever it may be. But you will quickly surpass the people who are you burn bright early on, and quality compounds quantity. Whereas the other one, if it's the other way around, and quantity, that just pulls. You just end up with a ceiling of your head. And I believe, from all the coaches I've seen, that this is the number one issue which they have. They just think that it's a numbers game, and it isn't. It's a quality game. So why does hesitation from the client's perspective happen during calls? So the client usually hesitates when they don't understand the process that's going on. They're not really sure where they are. Yes, they know they're on an intro call, but what happens next? Or and they don't necessarily feel particularly guided by the conversation. They just feel like the dialogue is too open and too unstructured, and they sense some uncertainty from you. And we'll address all these points later. But hesitation and rejection is usually around confusion, because maybe they spoke to another coach and there's just some subtleties within that other coach that made them think that, yeah, he/she is the one for me. So what actually makes intro calls convert? So here's some secrets for you. Action 1, price before the call. So during the DM process, have your price up front. Now, I know for many coaches, they would sit back in their chair and think, God no, why would you do that? But it removes the shock, it removes the pressure from the conversation, it removes the elephant from the room. If you go into an intro call and you wait right to the end and say, okay, Bob, that's everything. So just by the way, the price is X amount for a month, or X amount per session, or whatever it is that whatever product or service you're selling is. And all of a sudden, it just deflates the entire thing. It's like you've built up this amazing balloon and you've just popped it. Yeah, it just destroys the whole thing. And if you lead with the price, even just during the DM process, or if you want in the intro call process, is maybe an alternative if you feel that during the DMs is a bit risque. You address the elephant in the room. It just completely it enables so much more rapport and trust to be built between the two of you, and you can actually talk about the things that matter. The price is just the price. The price isn't that important. What's important is your understanding of them. And so if you are panicking and if you're worried that, oh shit, I've still got to talk about the price, then it just makes your life and their life so much harder to swap that information and to feel human together. So get the price out of the way. That's action 1. Action 2. Use a flexible framework, but not a script. Now, winging it creates massive inconsistencies when it comes to intro calls, but having a word-for-word script also kills the presence that you have. All the best. Imagine that you sit down with a great public speaker. Now, so often you can just feel the energy which they have, and it gives you so much trust within them. And what you realize is that when you're speaking with them, they feel very present. They are not there thinking about what they need to say, and they're not there gibbling between their words a bit like I do sometimes. They have this amazing presence about them, and that's because they're there and then in the moment with you. So what you need to do to achieve such a state is copy some of the stuff which they do. Now, they never wing it and they never go full script. They always have key points, and the key points which they have enable them to guide the conversation but not force it. But the second thing which they do is they constantly learn. I cannot tell you enough how important this is. This has been transformative for me throughout my entire career, but you must spend time learning. So for me, what I do is I have an on day and I have an off day for my content. So my on day is when I'm filming, and my off day is when I'm reviewing what I did yesterday and the changes which I can make the next day. I would recommend having some kind of similar cadence. You can do it maybe once a week, but you must learn to measure what is and what isn't working when it comes to intro call scripts, and I promise it'll be transformative. And you'll have this amazing presence about you and people will be drawn to you. Action 3, tone decides everything. Now, obviously the words matter, but in many ways, the tone matters more. Now, if your voice rises at the end of a sentence, you create that level of uncertainty. Whereas if you have the ability to control your tone, be aware of your tone, and keep it consistent throughout what it is you're saying, then you are able to transfer a degree of certainty into the person you're speaking to, which in this case is your client or your future client. And that just it's the icing on the cake in a setup now that you have, which will enable you as a trainer to convert more clients, so that they're not walking away thinking, "Oh, what do I do now?" They're leaving that conversation feeling, "Wow, I've just spoken to someone who knows what they're doing, makes me feel special, and I can't wait to start, and I know their price." So there you go. So those are my three key points for this. Now, if you found this helpful, it'd be fantastic if you could like, view, subscribe, whatever you fancy. Anything just to let us know that you found this helpful. Yeah, thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.